Hey Taurus, it's Empress Rose here. Welcome to your reading. These are general readings, so we take what works and we leave what doesn't, as with everything in life. And if I don't catch your wavelength on this reading, check your other major placements. We're starting off with the oracle decks, the monster oracle decks of Moonology and Work Your Light, and we'll take these as a paragraph when they come out. We already got a few right off the bat. My cat has left the table. He joined me for Pisces and Aries today, which is fascinating. He's never done that before. With my own personal readings, he's all over the cards, but he's never been on this table before. So that was interesting. So after this intuitive start, we're going to move to the Golden Tarot for a more traditional spread here. All right. Man, there are some real repetitions this week. Overall, many people have gotten the story of we're birthing a new age. So hold on, buckle up. We're being guided through something. And I just wanted to give that general reading out there. Unusually today is that we're being guided through something. We are going to get where we want to go to. There's just a little bit of a rough spot. So holding our focus and making sure we're not losing the plot here and getting too involved in the details of exactly how things are changing and what's changing, but holding our focus. So you're getting this one too. This isn't the same one, but it's the same message. Fixed moon, holding your vision. Staying and this message keeps coming out. So I think that we have a little bit of a rough week or so ahead of us, but this message is very clear. Hold your vision, stay with, and that's why I decided to share with you guys sort of what's been coming out in every reading here. We have also this spiritual support. There are two cards like this in the deck, and most of the readings have had at least one of them. So that's important to note as well, that we do have spiritual support. We are being guided here. Maybe not every step of the way, but we certainly do have, behind the scenes, I just dropped a little thing. Behind the scenes help. So Sisterhood of the Rose, beauty, devotion, priestess, mystic, teacher. So you could be being a teacher or experiencing teaching, or both at the same time. That's always nice to be a teacher while also being supported in other ways. So so maybe some mystical adventures here, maybe having a community with you of other people that are on a similar spiritual journey as you are, and connecting with those people. We have Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeding the light, laying foundations, divine plan. So I'm loving this. There's some sort of divine plan unfolding here. I feel like this is very, it's to us all as individuals and us all in a larger sense as well. But there is some sort of divine plan. And the way I feel about Anna is she's not the foundation of the plan. She is the blueprint of the plan. She's the pre-planning. This is before we even get going, or before we even call a contractor. This is the dreaming, visioning of where we want to go. And then we're going to hold that vision. We get that vision, and then we're going to hold on to it. This might have to do with a spiritual community that you might be part of. Have you answered, warrior woman, have you answered your deepest calling? Knowing what you think, knowing what you believe, fighting for it, being very clear on what it is that you're doing here. I feel like this is part of this Anna, this foundation. Like you're picking out some sort of blueprint this week, and you need to be very clear that that's the one you want. And exactly like what your room is going to be yours in that blueprint. And so you're picking out this could be some sort of vision or divine plan where you're picking out like what is your deepest calling? What have you always wanted? What have you always wanted in a house? We're just going with the blueprint metaphor for now. What have you always wanted in a house? Did you always want a turret? Put a fucking turret. Don't ask for the blueprint that doesn't have a turret if you've wanted a turret in your house since you were 5. That's me. Since you were 5. Don't ask for the blueprint that doesn't have that. Like, what do you want? What has been calling you? Make sure that whatever plans you're making for the future, whatever vision you have, includes this crucial aspect. You always wanted to have kids? Okay, that's a hit and miss thing. We don't get a lot of control over how those come into our lives, but make sure if you're making a blueprint of a life plan or something like that, that it includes that aspect, and you make room and you make time, and you make sure that the blueprint for your life includes the room and the time to have and make and coordinate children, right? So making sure that whatever vision you have, that you hold to it, and that it includes your lifelong dream as much as possible. There's so many things outside of our control, but the planning stages, the blueprints, those are in our control, right? You can't always get the windows you want in your house, but you can always like at least plan to get the windows. Oh man, birth keeps coming up this week. But this is like having the birth plan. Do you always get to stick with the birth plan? No, but you still need to have one, and it still needs to include everything. You want to give birth at home? Put that in your birth plan. Start out at home. I mean, if you can, and if it's safe, and your midwife approves, and you can find a midwife, and you know all those other things, contingencies. But make sure you start off with at least what you want. Though life's going to ask you to negotiate some things, but make sure that you hold your vision. I want to give birth at home, so plan that. Plan at least figure out if you're eligible for that, and then if you are, plan for it, and then have your contingency plan and your backup plan, but at least put a blueprint down for what you want and be clear about what you want. I've always wanted to give birth at home. Okay, go for it, try it. It worked out for me. What if I had just been like, whatever? Then I wouldn't have had these beautiful experiences that were almost exactly what I wanted, you know? It was very close to the precise. They were quick, they were at home, they were incredibly excruciatingly painful, surprisingly so. But, you know, I got, and just to even, not everybody gets that. And the whole time I was very well aware that I may not end up giving birth here, but at least I went for what I wanted. At least I said what I wanted. And at least I said what I wanted and planned for what I wanted and my dream. There's a Michelle Shocked song about this boy. He's the only boy who could state his desires. And that really caught me, because so much of us are like, oh no, that'll never happen. Oh no. And then just stating my desires has become a really important pillar to my life and my happiness. Okay, I understand there's so many things outside my control, but state them very clearly. What do you want? What do you want this to look like? What do you want this community or this communion to look like? What do you want your society to look like? What do you see your role in that? And then hold that vision. I mean, because with home birth, and bringing that up as an example, people, or maybe we should do houses. Houses, not everybody likes the same house. Okay, so you might have some naysayers, like, really, a turret? My God, what are you? A 6-year-old Disney princess fanatic? Yes and no. So hold that vision. There are going to be naysayers, possibly coming from your community, that are like, giving birth at home, are you serious? That's dangerous. Well, actually, if you read some research on it, it's not. But if you go by, sort of our colloquial storytelling, maybe, but all over the world, women do that and have for thousands and thousands of years. So it's possible. Fiery climax approaches. I'm feeling a lot of fire in this reading. All the other readings were like, but this one is feeling really strong, very energetic. And I just, as you've seen, I've only had 2 sips of my Earl Grey tea. So it's not like I'm jacked up on coffee. I'm jacked up on the energy of this reading right now. So a fiery climax, something exciting is going to happen. We've gotten that card a few times this week, something exciting coming in. And it may try to disrupt you from your vision. It may be, we don't know. If fiery climax approaches, nobody's telling you, specifying whether this is a great fiery climax or a terrible fiery climax. Are we going to get hit by a meteor? Or are we going to have the best orgasm of our life? We don't know. We're not really given a lot of clarity, but something exciting is going to happen. That's what we know. And it may rock us a bit and make us, our vision here, we have a lot of terrain to cover, a lot of rocky road ahead here. But something exciting is going to happen. Either it's going to help align us with that vision, or it's going to try to distract us and disrupt our vision. Confidence is your key to success. New moon in Leo. So, wow, hold your vision confidently. I mean, if we're going to take the giving birth metaphor again, giving birth at home, you plan for it. You plan for it like it's actually going to happen. It's much likely to happen that way, the way you want it to, if you plan for it confidently, if you're confident in your body's ability to give birth, if you're confident in your caregivers and their ability to suss out any contraindications and that kind of thing. If you're confident in all of that and in yourself, it's much more likely to turn out. If you start off with like, I kind of have this fantasy of home birth, but it'll probably not work out, I don't know, then one, people are going to dissuade you left and right? Because it's unusual in our country. It's unusual. So people are going to try to dissuade you. So you got to be confident. You have a vision. It's unique to you. It's part of what you're meant to be here. There may be some naysayers. Something exciting is going to happen. But you got to remain confident in your vision, confident in what you see, confident in what you think is possible and what you think can happen, confident in your blueprints for whatever this little adventure that you're on right now is. Confident that your soul isn't wrong in calling you in this direction. All right, Taurus. This is quite like some energy for a Taurus reading. I'm usually expecting, I don't know, something a little more grounded, but we've got some coming through here. All right, Taurus, this is your past, your present, your inner landscape, what's at issue, your environment, your to-do list, and your possible outcome. Okay. In your recent past, we have 7 of coins, having put the work into something but not yet seeing the results. The fruit's not ripened. You're not yet seeing where this is all going or what's going to happen here. You put a bunch of work into something and you're waiting, twiddling your thumbs for the fruit to ripen, for the results to come in. This could be like, I mean, if we're going to take the pregnancy metaphor and stretch it a little bit, this would be like you are in week 42. And 40 was what you were expecting, and now you're in week 42, and you're sitting here waiting patiently for a baby to come. Impatiently, because at week 42, you are very impatiently waiting for baby to come. So you're ready to go. You might be looking at, in the recent past, you might have been looking at the past, at like what all the work you've done, everything that you've accomplished, and waiting for the fruits of your labors, waiting for your reward, waiting for something to happen. There's been a lot of work's been put into something, and you've been put into this waiting room, waiting for something to happen, something to change, for it to ripen. In your current situation, you're at Queen of Coins. This could be you. This could be someone in your environment. It could be male. It could be female. This is somebody who's very focused on their career, very focused on, I think it's you, because this is whoever's waiting here. Yeah, they're still waiting. They're very focused on their career, on all the work that they've done, everything that they've invested, the time, the money, the mental focus that they've invested in something. She's very focused on her career ladder, on where she wants to go. She's got money on the mind. And I also see the coins as money and time. I can also see a clock face here, right? So she's put a lot of money and time into something, very focused on her career, very focused on where she's going, what she's, the Queen of Coins has no problem holding her vision and no problem putting the work in to scale these mountains and get where she's going, right? No problem. Confident. She's very confident in herself and in her ability to get there. And this is a focus for you right now, is this focus of your career. It could be career plans, could be planning for some sort of future thing, laying some sort of foundation for yourself, or at least getting an architect to draw up some sort of blueprints for some future foundation for yourself. In your inner landscape is the Fool card. Your hopes, your fears, a new beginning, striking out on a new adventure, a new project, a new hobby, wanting to do that, or being afraid that that's going to come in again, and here you go again, out on taking a fool's leap of faith. So you might be hoping for a leap of faith. You might be thinking about another leap of faith, especially if you've been waiting here, and you might be thinking about a leap of faith to the next rung on this ladder, right? To the next rung on your career ladder. You might be thinking about that. You might be worried that all the work you've put in, all the focus that you have, is there still more? Is there another leap of faith that you have to do? Is there another? Are you serious? I've already done 4 million leaps of faith. I've already climbed 4 million rungs on this ladder. Why do I need, I need more? I need to do another rung? Is that what you're saying here? So you could be worried about a leap of faith, another risky maneuver, another risky move, or because you might feel tapped out on the risk that you've done. But you're being called to be confident, and you're being called to make sure you're following your deepest calling. So yeah. So leap of faith is on your mind, on your heart, thinking about moving into the future in a somewhat risky way, a way in which others might see as a risk. Well, that could be, stretching even further. I can't believe how elastic this metaphor is, and even that references the elasticity of the birth canal. Like, wow, this is so this home birth thing, a leap of faith. Like, okay, there's going to be a lot of naysayers. Yeah, there might be some amount of risk, but not more so, not when you've been properly vetted than other places. So contemplating that risk, contemplating making a risk, but you need to be confident in your choice. You need to be confident in this thing, and it might be worrying you. What's at issue here is a choice between what you really want to do and what everybody's telling you should be doing. A choice between, because this is the leap of faith. This is the path of heart, the leap of faith into the future. You are not making that decision yet. That decision is on hold for now. What kind of risks you're going to take? The Lover's card to me is about a choice between following our heart and doing what we're supposed to be doing. It's the, are you just, and the Lovers is about like that true love that can sometimes be very disruptive to our lives, can sometimes not make any sense, can sometimes be very inexplicable to other people, and to go with that risks all of this. You have to be very confident to go with the choice of, say, spouse or life partner that your family doesn't approve of, right? And in a variety of ways. Lots of families have just, what's tricky is when you're younger, you don't realize that your family has a unique set of criteria for certain things. And then you start meeting other people and you're like, your family's weird, your family's weird. And then at some point you might experience, wait, my family's weird. My family had really weird criteria. Really weird criteria. And very different, right? So you may be like, other families would be like, oh yeah, that's a great relationship, go off. And then, but your own life is like, your life experience is like, oh, that's a crazy idea. Nobody else thinks that, but you and your loved ones, your family, your community around you thinks that that's a crazy idea. But you may not realize that that's not everybody's going to think that that's crazy. So this Lover's card is about a choice, and in the reverse, I see a choice put on hold, the wrong choice chosen, or just not making a choice, refusing to make a choice, not wanting to make a choice, not wanting to, rock the boat or take this leap of faith, or even possibly risk what you've already built here. If you leap for that next rung, it's you could be aware that it's entirely possible that you slide all the way down. This is like the game show where you have, this is a metaphor-rich reading too. It's like the game show where you have, are you going to risk it all on this next question, or are you going to safely exit the game? I don't know what game I'm talking about, but are you going to safely exit the game with, your meager winnings? Or are you going to risk for bigger winnings? So that's a bit of the Lover's card. And you might just be sitting there contemplating this leap of faith for the bigger winnings and thinking, oh, no, I don't think I want to do that. I don't know. Pause the game, pause this game show, break, we're taking a break. I don't know. So, so there's a choice that hasn't been chosen yet, a choice to be made here. So in your environment, we have 9 of Wands. We have the Wounded Warrior. There's something in your environment that is could be forcing you to continue doing a battle you'd just as soon quit. It's like this fruit never ripened. And now you're out here, you're wounded, you're tired, you're exhausted, you'd like to retire from the military. But instead they sent you on another tour. With your wounds, no time for recovery. So there's something in your environment that you're continuing to have to battle and fight despite some serious exhaustion and a wish to quit. You are being asked to hold your vision, however. So there. You're being asked to hold your vision, and it could be someone in no, it's your whole environment is just exhausting, tiring, maybe a little bit, something in your environment it could be a little bit broken, a little bit like just not working, a broken down car, broken spirit, something like that, where it's just like, is any of this worth it? So you could just be waiting too long on something, on the results and the fruits of your labor. And there's exhaustion and a sense of woundedness. You know, when we wait for like a lover for too long, it starts to feel like a wound, not an exciting thing. It starts to feel like, wait, you're not rushing towards me. Is it because you don't like me that much? Like there's a sense of that if the fruits of your labors or what you want or your goal isn't coming up to meet you, is it really yours? Is it really something that's sustainable or even a realistic dream? So that could be wounding. There is a sense of exhaustion here and a sense of not being very inspired, or your environment could just not be very inspiring anymore, be a little overwhelming. And then your to-do list is temperance. So if this 9 of Wands is overwhelming, it's temperance, getting used to, and I just get used to the idea. Okay, you're not ready to make a choice or a decision. But how about just play around with the idea? This reminds me of when our subconscious brings up new concepts in our dreams for us to just kind of play with. Like, what do you think if maybe you had this car instead? Or that's really mundane, but whatever, my dreams are never like that. But maybe yours are, but our subconscious can bring up sort of, I want you to play around with the idea that you could be successful with this. So adjusting, a period of adjustment, more patience. This patience in the 7 of Coins that you've already been through, temperance is a patience card. So more patience, more adjustments need to happen. You need to get used to an idea here. Getting used to something, making something more palatable. Maybe this decision feels too extreme to you. Maybe this leap of faith seems too intense. Is there a way you can make it more palatable? Is there a way you can make it more agreeable to you and other people in this situation? Is there a way you could take the leap of faith, but make sure there's a safety net underneath it? Is there a way that you can, so you're making something a little less extreme feeling, a little less intense. You're balancing things out. You're blending, you're mixing, you're making things a little less extreme or intense feeling. Either the waiting or the accomplishment or this decision that you've put on hold. It doesn't, maybe it's this like getting used to the plan. Getting used to the idea, okay, we're going to build a house. Okay, we're going to have I would like a turret. Maybe if I offer my spouse, if my spouse lets me get the turret, which he hates, I'll offer him, something, making something more palatable, making this risk a little more palatable. Maybe, with home birth, using our ridiculously now overly stretched home birth metaphor, you could be thinking about like, okay, my spouse doesn't want a home birth. Is there some way you could make the home birth more palatable, or maybe go to a birthing center, which is near a hospital, or something like that? Is there some way you can compromise or make something more acceptable to the other parties involved or to your community? Yeah, it could be a compromise, compromising something, blending two opposing ideas, or blending two, blending two extremes. People could have their heels dug into something, and so this would be taking a peacemaker role, initiating some sort of compromise, where you can get what you want, but the other person can also, their fears are allayed about what it is that you want to do. Or even if it's yourself, and there's part of you that's like, go do this intense thing, and there's this other part of you that's like, no, I'm not making that choice. I'm not making that decision. Is there some way that, maybe you could take someone to spot you as you make that intense decision, or something like that? And then I love temperance right next to this Two of Coins. This is juggling. Two things that are always going to need to be juggled: personal life, professional life. Two things that aren't going to blend but can be juggled. Maybe there's no compromise here, but you're told to seek it, to seek compromise, to seek a blending of desires, a blending of passions. But if that doesn't prove to be possible, you can juggle them. You can say, how about this time we do it my way and next time we do it your way? That kind of thing. So things may not actually be able to be blended, but you could end up juggling. You can end up taking a leap of faith while also keeping whatever stability you have or whatever is there, and then these things are going to need to be juggled. It'll feel a little difficult, a little tricky, but you'll be able to do it. You'll pull it off, but it will be difficult. Nope. We only want one from this deck, please. So for Taurus for this week, or the ill-defined time period around this reading, what do we have? Okay, 2, fine. Ooh, appreciating your body, making sure you're taking care of your body. Love your body and live your dreams. I want you to experience all that life has to offer. I want you to see your dreams come alive in the world. Yes, we do. When you love the sacred soul animal of your body as I love you, then you will manifest all that is divinely meant for you and thrive. So loving your body, loving your physical experience, your actual lived experience. And then this one, visioning, dreaming, happiness. Now is the time, okay, maybe not visioning, dreaming. Now is the time to be open to what will be. Embrace your destiny, beloved. It is calling you forward, even while it is hurtling towards you. Your time is now. Well, fiery climax approaches. We definitely got some confirmation of that. Fiery climax approaches, and it looks like you're just watching it come in. All right, Taurus. All right, Taurus, I hope that this was helpful for you. Thank you so much for your likes, subscribes, and comments. I very much appreciate them.